All right, what's going on, everybody? We got another weekly Shonen Jump stream. Excited to read Ichi the Witch. Curious to see what's going on in One Piece. Definitely want to see Kyoshi. Kind of curious to see what's going on with Kagurabachi. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I do feel like, as much as I like Kyoshi, I do feel like Ichi the Witch is kind of the best of the top dogs right now. I mean, obviously One Piece is really good, but I feel like Ichi the Witch is kind of number one right now. We got Josh in chat. Josh, what's going on? How's your weekend been? How you doing? A couple notes. So I am caught up on Ichi, caught up on One Piece, behind on Sakamoto Days, caught up on Kagurabachi, behind by like 8 chapters maybe on Akane Banashi. Chojin X a few tiers above the rest in the new gen field. I don't really read Chojin X. I think I've read the first 5 chapters. I'm definitely due to read it at some point though. All the series you mentioned are really stepped up in quality and are starting new arcs now. Good so far. We got Justin in the chat. Justin, what's going on? Pleasure to have you as always. How's your weekend been? We also have Anime Monarch in the chat. How you doing, Monarch? Pleasure to see you too. Anyway, behind on Akane Banashi. Not really reading Embers. I feel like discourse for that series is kind of plummeted. I am curious to see where it's at after chapter 10, but right now I'm not really super interested in reading it. We got Gamer Chan Leanne. How you doing, Leanne? Pleasure to have you. Good to see you. Friendly reminder that Gamer Chan Leanne is rocking the custom Shonen Ouji member loyalty badge. Exclusive to the channel, you may get a Dr. Stone Kingdom of Science loyalty badge that changes with each tier. There's the first tier, which is stone, and then it goes bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and then there's some shinier tiers after that. So if you want a super shiny, super cool, nowhere else, exclusive to this channel, Dr. Stone Kingdom of Science loyalty badge like GamerChan has, make sure to become a member. Chrono says, I've never read Embers carried by art. I wouldn't say it's carried by art. The art is good, but I wouldn't say it's carried by art. I just feel like it's one of those series where unless you really like soccer, it's kind of just okay. We got Edens in the chat. Edens, what's good? How you doing? Edens, we still got to have our Radiant chat, our Radiant rap, if you will, because I caught up and then we never rapped about it, so to speak. The problem, Josh says, the problem with Embers is mainly with the investment with the characters. So I'm like 2 chapters behind. I do feel like while I like the main character, the other characters were kind of lacking. So I do get that for sure. Anyway, we got Edens just became a recruit, a brand new Shonen OG member. Thank you, Edens. Means a lot. Pleasure to have you aboard. Like I said, he now has access to a custom Dr. Stone exclusive to Shonen OG loyalty badge. You get, again, there's the beginning stone tier, then it goes bronze, silver, gold, platinum, then there's shinier platinums after that, and then there's some really shiny diamond tiers. So everyone gets a loyalty badge in the very bottom recruit tier, which right now is going for $2.99. And speaking of which, as Gamer Chan Leanne and Eden's just very elegantly displayed, you also get custom Shonen Ouji, nowhere else, just this channel emojis, such as Turbo Granny jamming out with her pet cat, her pet kitten. There's that, there's Excalibur, there's a Shonen Ouji emoji, and then there's a Robin reaction face emoji. There's a bunch more. There's dozens of emojis I have saved. We just got to try and build the members. So as soon as we get some more members, I can upload those other emojis. But again, first tier, recruit tier is $2.99 a month. That's just about what you pay if you are subscribed to Weekly Shonen Jump or Viz. Anyway, I've been plugging for way too long. Let's read Ichi the Witch. Gamer Chan says, loves the emojis. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like them. I had a lot of fun working with Fruit Loop Chan over on Twitter, designing them. I think they came out really well. So anyway, we're going to start with chapter 25 of Ichi the Witch. If you recall, excuse me. If you recall, last week, Ichi was kidnapped by the Obliterator, I think is his name. Gokuraku, I believe is his name. He was kidnapped, and then Ururo posed the idea that if he kills Ichi, he can get Ururo as his own magic. So that's where we are at now. And there's like an RPG sort of Baldur's Gate party subplot where Gokuraku probably has a beef with the World Hater, but we don't know for sure yet. I dropped Ichi after 22 because I want to wait for the anime. Yeah, you're going to be waiting for a while, but I don't blame you for that. I don't like watching a series knowing what's going to happen. That is very fair, Anime Monarch. I don't blame you for that. That's how I am with some series. Like, at the moment, I'm anime only on Shangri-La Frontier. And I kind of like it that way, but I think after season 2 wraps up, I'm going to binge the manga. Also, Krona said, I'm only 8 chapters into Ichi, but I already kind of like it more than Kyoshi. Yeah, as much as I am very much for the Kyoshi agenda, and as much as I think it's one of the most underrated manga right now, I still think Ichi has the edge. I just think it has a broader appeal. I think it's a little better in terms of character writing. Just slightly better. I feel like it's... I think what it boils down to is I just think Ichi the Witch is a little more unique of a story, and the art style stands out slightly more. Kyoshi is going to kind of become like the new Black Clover in the sense that like it's only going to be for people that like already like shonen and shonen tropes. Shangri-La Frontier is a fun ride. It's so much fun. It's one of my favorite series right now. I would actually say I like it just as much as I like Solo Leveling, if not more. So we open with a report from Kumagi, which is basically like a recap. He has the Raiko and Hisame magics. He battled with the World Hater magic. Then they run into Gokuraku, the brutalizer, not the obliterator, the brutalizer. Brutalizer, excuse me. Potato. Haven't watched the latest episode of Shangri-La yet. No, I haven't watched it either. Excuse me, either. God, I'm gonna English today. I'll probably watch it tonight because I have a bunch of stuff I need to get done around my house. But yeah. So Ururo says, kill the kid and I'll be free. Then you can acquire me for yourself. Do that and you'll be a witch. And of course, Ururo openly admits if Ichi dies, he's just going to book it. Book it. And then he, and I mean this unironically, he power flicks Ururo, brutalizes him as per his name, splatters him. Ururo is like, what's your deal? Why'd you do that? He says, I can't put my finger on it exactly, but there's something about you that reminds me about this one magic. And of course, Gokuraku is not buying this for a second. So now he's flipping out about this magic, completely losing his mind, going into berserker mode. But then Ichi wakes up, stops him, and he's like, okay, who is this magic that you speak of? And I'm willing to bet most of my money. Most of it. I'll put it this way. I'm willing to bet all of my Magic the Gathering cards that they're talking about the World Hater. Also, I would be curious to see. So they're in this place called Bakugami, which I can only assume is supposed to be a take on feudal Japan. But I don't know if it's just like general Eastern culture, Asian culture, if you will, or if it's specifically Japan. It seems like it's more specific to Japan, but I'm not sure yet. But they're in the residential district, Kumagi and Descaris. Descaris is bummed out because she let Ichi get captured. Anime Monarch says, would you recommend Ultimate Exorcist and Shinobi Undercover? For reference, I enjoy Fairy Tail, One Piece, Bleach, Black Clover, Kaiju 8, Ichi the Witch, and JJK. I would highly recommend Ultimate Exorcist Kyoshi, especially if you like Black Clover. It's like kind of a blend of Black Clover and One Piece, because the mangaka was an assistant to Oda on One Piece. It's a magic, it's an Exorcist series, so it kind of feels like Black Clover because there's a lot of demons. And if you love shonen and like classic shonen that's like not trying to be anything else and leans into the tropes, definitely check out Kyoshi. I love it. The art style is awesome. The character designs are awesome. It's funny. It's exciting. The action is really good. And Kyoshi is a great main character. I cannot speak to Shinobi Undercover. I've heard it's okay, but I haven't heard anything great about it. Excuse me. So they run into this mysterious man who says they were expecting the witches. They don't know which magic was talked about in the prophecy. If only they could all be like Lord Bakugami, a peaceful magic who does nothing but grant humans blessings and joy. Allow me to introduce the honored, most revered, blessed slumber magic, the great Lord Bakugami. This reminds me of that one Pokemon from Gen 5, the psychic Pokemon that's always sleeping. I can only assume they're from the same myth. Ouji, did you see that Black Torch, the Axed manga, is getting an anime adaptation? Yeah, that's a really weird call. I have to imagine... I am not familiar with Black Torch. That must have been when I wasn't really reading manga for a while. I have to imagine it got really popular really early, and so they made a deal. They made a deal to make that anime way before it got canceled. So I have a feeling that'll only be like one season. Unless it suddenly sells a ton of manga, which I kind of doubt, but we'll see. Yeah, it's called Kyoshi. That's okay. Blue Exorcist is great as well. Yeah, that's another series I need to get into. Thank you for the great reminder, Gamer-chan. The Blessed Slumber Magic, also called Lord Bakugami. To the people of the country, it wasn't merely their guardian deity, it was also a crucial pillar of emotional support. It is both our God and our precious family. What if someone tries to acquire Lord Bakugami? They'd be executed. Oh, okay, that's aggressive. So the people of Bakugami revere Bakugami, but Gokuraku despises this magic. It's not the savior everyone makes it out to be. It looks cute, but on the inside, it's a bundle of feces. Ichi, help me acquire Bakugami, even if it means making an enemy of the whole country. It's almost time, Lord World Hater, my god, my deity of destruction. In just a short time, I'll be able to massacre this whole country. Then I hope you'll praise me, Lord World Hater. So this is building up to be a really exciting arc, because we have the premise of an entire country hating our main crew, this other magic that worships the World Hater, and supposedly a new character for our main group, and a new male witch. And also with that, possibly, obviously a new male witch, but like explaining how men can acquire witches besides Ichi. How do you adapt a canceled story? Will they give it an original ending? I would have to imagine, because I don't know how long it is. Again, I never got into Black Torch. I don't know how long it is. It might only be like 12 episodes. Anyway, Ichi was really good this week, so let's move on to Kyoshi. Black Torch is 19 chapters. Yeah, so I feel like it's just going to be one season, and they're just going to make a bunch of stuff up. Unless they're planning on bringing the manga back? I don't know, it's really weird. It ran in Jump Square from 2016 to 2018. Oh, maybe the chapters are longer? If the chapters are longer, that makes a little more sense. While we shift from Ichi to Kiyoshi, friendly reminder that I am an affiliate member of TCGPlayer. So if you're looking to buy One Piece cards or Magic the Gathering cards or even Yu-Gi-Oh cards, TCGPlayer is the best place to get trading cards. You can get trading cards. You can get trading card sleeves. Even if you don't play some of these other games, but you like One Piece and you want some really cool One Piece trading card sleeves, you can get those on TCGPlayer. I should have a link in the description for the stream. If I don't, you can go to the link in one of my videos. Use that link and you can get One Piece cards, Magic cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, whatever you need. Sleeves, desk mats, they have it all. I use TCGPlayer when I order cards online, and I always get my cards in perfect condition and relatively fast. I'd say it usually only takes about 4 days to get your card. But yeah, make sure to check it out. One Piece has a card game. Yeah, if you go to TCGPlayer, you can check it out. Some of the cards are just panels from the manga, and some of the cards are custom designs. They have literally every character. Luffy, Ace, they have Utahime, they have Wiper, any character you can think of, they have One Piece cards. So if you want to start collecting One Piece trading card game cards, go ahead on over to TCGPlayer using my affiliate link. So to recap, Nihan and Jack Joe beat one of the demon lords, Yoraku. They had their powered up fusion, and we got a Jack Joe backstory where he wanted to hang out with humans. And the form he's usually in is his weakened form. So they saved Akari and the other girl with the headband. They said, we kept our promise to Mr. Hijiri. Akari's like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, nothing. And of course, Hijiri was the one who trained them. He says, if you let anyone find out I taught you, you're dead. So the Demon Lord is in fact not dead. He's already healing up. He's like, all right, you got me. Finish me. They're about to finish him off. But Jack Joe protects him. He says, he's my friend. Isn't there anything we could do to let him go? In the demon world, I actually had a friend I was really close to. So this demon lord Yoraku gives Jack Joe his trident. So possibly, looks like Jack Joe is going to get some more power-ups. Have I seen the latest episode of Dr. Stone? No. I still need to watch it. I know, I'm a fake fan. At least I don't think I did. I might be mistaken. They did a great job with the OST on, I'm assuming that scene. I need to read the newest Sakamoto Days chapter. Yeah, I need to set aside time to binge Sakamoto Days because I'm like 70 chapters behind. So Yoraku gives Jack Joe his trident. He tells Nihon to look after Jack Joe. He's got this happy face because, obviously he got to see his friend. Somebody cuts his head off, and they're like, what the hell's going on? So then we cut to Kiyoshi. He's defending one of the other exorcists. There's this big mass of black energy. Assuming it's one of the demon lords, maybe one of their abilities. That is super creepy. So they tied up a bunch of the exorcists, hanging them by their necks with swings. And she's doing this to attract Kiyoshi. But he destroys the swings, saves the other exorcists, and now he's going to fight this demon lord, who apparently is named Hydraco. So it looks like we're going to get a nice Kiyoshi fight, which is always exciting. Yeah, I know. I'm a fake fan. I'm a fake Dr. Stone fan. I just make Dr. Stone videos for the clout. So yeah, again, after reading Kiyoshi, I feel like Ichi the Witch definitely gets chapter of the week. But let's just confirm that by reading some One Piece. In the cover story, Yamato uses Thunder Bagua on Who's Who. So hopefully we get some page 1 and what's her name? So we cut to the school for the kid giants. This is One Piece chapter 1142. There's a giant snake for some reason. They're guessing it snuck out from the underworld. Excuse me. So they defeated this mysterious snake, and we see it's Saul and Mr. Principal, whose name is Tusk, and they are both former giant pirates. Ouji, thank you. Part of Nordic mythology with the giant snake. Yeah, that's what I figured. We got Eddie Rayman in the chat. Eddie, what's going on? How are you? We cut to Robin and Chopper. Robin says there are monsters like this in the Sun World? ? We cut to the gym teacher, Mr. Wolf. One of the teachers says you mustn't touch the children. They fell asleep and wouldn't talk to us. So the kids are all falling asleep. There's all kinds of crazy monsters. Nobody knows what's going on. Do you think Sakamoto Days will have a higher quality animation next season? The anime is extremely popular and top of Netflix. I think it'll be roughly the same. I know it's a different department of TMS, but generally with TMS, they don't really like make drastic improvements with each season, at least going off of the anime I've seen. So I would expect Sakamoto Days to stay relatively the same with season 2. Also, Eddie says today is Shanks and Mihawk's birthday. Wait, Shanks and Mihawk have the same birthday? Huh. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so we cut back to the underworld. I'll ask this one person who was in contact with TMS. I'm seeing them today. Well, that's a pretty good plug. Good for you, Josh. Well, gotten better was 3 days ago. Yes, I'm recovering. Are you sick? So we cut back to the underworld. Luffy's crew, Hyrudine's crew, and Loki. He says, you thought that leaving one leg trapped in sea prism stone would contain the true extent of my power. That was foolish of you. If you wanted to save Elbaf, undo the final cuff now. You'll soon see if I'm really helpless or not in this condition. So, of course, Loki is hitting the world tree, threatening, apparently using fire and lightning, question mark? Or he's using Conqueror's Hockey? I don't know. It seems like a combination of Conqueror's Hockey, fire, and possibly lightning. Luffy Blazing says Ichi the Witch is not the best new gen. Well, what would you say is? Also, wait, so Frankie, Mihawk, and Shanks all have the same birthday? That seems kind of weird, but interesting. Well, Eddie, I hope you feel better. Sorry to hear you were sick. It's weird that Dr. Stone barely had an animation increase considering it's decently popular, even weirder in Baki's case. Well, I don't know about Baki, but with Dr. Stone, they generally invest more in the backgrounds and the soundtrack and not so much like fight animation, but character animation. So, I mean, all of that other stuff has gotten better. Fights kind of just look the same. You do see slight improvements, but it's over the course of like 4 seasons. Watch out, season changes weather. Ooh, it could be like a seasonal thing with Loki. Best new gen is either Himiten or Kyoshi. I need to check out Himiten, but definitely Kyoshi. I will say this, I said it before. As much as I love Kyoshi, I think it is probably Ichi the Witch. But Kyoshi is definitely underrated. Probably Akane Banashi. Akane Banashi is good. I don't think it's the best of this current generation, but also slept on for sure. So there's thunder, there's fire. Everyone on the upper floors of Elbaf is like, what the hell is going on? Miss Angie, I'm guessing her name is, in the school, says she recognizes those monsters. Loki has a huge hammer and he destroys the world. So Miss Angie says all of those things are what the children drew based on the prompt of what they were afraid of. So supposedly someone put the kids to sleep and these are their nightmares that are attacking Elbaf. So it's this character, Killingham, that is doing this to the kids. So this was a decent chapter. It's definitely sort of like a setup chapter, but it was very fun to read. But I also think the Ichi chapter was better, for sure. On that note, I think we will close things off with Kagurabachi. So we are going to read chapter 71 of Kagurabachi. And my question to everybody in chat while I'm reading Kagurabachi. So Kagurabachi is at chapter 71. My question for everybody in chat is, when do we think Kagurabachi is going to get an anime announcement? Will it get an anime announcement? Josh said Hema 10 is great. Okay. Good to know. By best, do you mean success or quality? If you're talking about success, then Ichi. I'm just talking about quality, like overall enjoyment. Probably after the 150th chapter. That's possible. I also feel like that would take a really long time. Which studio is making One Punch Man Season 3? That would be JC Staff, which I am not thrilled about. I am not setting my expectations very high for One Punch Man, unfortunately. I think chapter 90 is probably more realistic. Why I have Hema 10 so high is because romance, adventure, suspense. Okay, that's definitely high praise. I'll have to check it out soon. I think an announcement could happen at the end of the year, so that would place it at something like chapter 110-ish, which also is not unreasonable. Savage said, with One Piece, I like that we have two sides of how people depict Nika. We first know Nika as a liberator, and the Elbaf people think he's a destroyer. Yeah, I definitely like that it's not like this one-sided, everybody views it the same myth. Me neither, sadly, too, was Disaster. JC Staff is not bad, but the way they animate is just lazy. Like, they make very colorful anime with good soundtracks, but the animation is the laziest I usually see. And I say lazy because there are scenes in their anime that actually look really good, but more often than not, when you watch the fights in their anime, you get the feeling that they cut corners. Eden says they're very okay. Yeah, that's probably how I would put it. Like they're if I was to put them on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say they're a very high 6, a 5 maybe. The volume covers for Kagurabachi are sick. They're pretty good. I've seen better, but I do like them. Mitchell says, with how successful it has been as a manga, I think it'll receive an anime announcement within the next year. Hopefully. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good range. The merchandise for Kagurabachi is going to be insane. Yeah, I don't know what they would sell though. Katanas maybe? I don't know about plushies. I mean, for sure they'll sell plushies, but like it's not like they have a Chopper or a Pochita or whatever, or a Turbo Granny. If you go by Gachi Akuta, then chapter 100 or 120. I think considering how popular it is, probably something closer to like chapter 90 or chapter 100. A strong 6, but you're always left with the idea they know they could be better. Exactly. Like, that's why I say lazy instead of bad, because it feels like they just cut a lot of corners. Demon Slayer is still one of my favorite new gen. I don't know if I'd say Demon Slayer is a new gen. It's definitely around that cutoff. But I really like Demon Slayer. It got a lot of hate when the manga was ending, and I feel like people have calmed down after a few years. I really like the final arc. I just really hate the final fight. The Muzan fight is the worst part of Demon Slayer by far. Other than that, I love everything else about Demon Slayer. I feel like it's like that because JC Staff does so many series. Well, they had Magia Lumiere. They had Eden Zero, which I don't think they're ever going to be doing that again. They are currently doing Fairy Tail, so that's 3. They have One Punch Man, so that's 4. I'm sure I'm missing a couple more. Josh said, I think it'll be closer because there was a massive poster ad for Kagurabachi. With the plushie aspect, no, they will not. I mean, they'll sell plushies, but like they don't really have... Kagurabachi doesn't really have mascot characters. So I like the Infinite Castle arc. I love that arc. I think every single fight in that arc is perfect except for Muzan. Muzan has got to be one of the worst final fights I have ever seen in any story, never mind anime and manga. It's terrible. It's so ass. How many seasons left with Fire Force? Just this last one, which is season 3. I believe they're doing it in 2 cores, which will be split up over 2 years. Supposed to be the last season, 2 cores? Yeah, exactly. I haven't read Fire Force, so do you think the content covered in the upcoming season 3 will be better than what we've seen in season 1 and 2? I hope so, because season 1 and 2 are both really good. And this is the final season, and this is probably one of the most anticipated final seasons for an anime in the last decade or so. So, there's going to be very high expectations. Demon Slayer video games are peak. I don't know about best video games, but they're okay. They're just like Naruto clones. But, I mean, they're all right. Core 2 is supposedly January. Yeah, so season 3 starts in April. That'll be like 12-ish episodes, which means April, April, May, June, then the rest of the year off, and then January again. It's just another arena fighter. Yeah, exactly. All arena fighters are not made equal. I know the Kill la Kill fighter is supposed to be really, really good for an arena fighter. I don't know about the One Punch Man game, but Kill la Kill is supposed to be pretty good. Anyway, let's read Kagurabachi and then we will wrap things up. So we're going to a flashback 9 years ago when Iori, Mr. Samura's daughter, was only 8 years old. Mr. Samura is having a conversation with his ex-wife Inori. Excuse me. So Inori collapsed. She fell. She's in the hospital. She and Samura are divorced, so he's not really up to date with what's really going on. She can't leave the hospital for a while, so he needs to look after Iori. He's saying he can't hold his daughter because he's, just not a good person. Oh, you said that 1,000 times already during the divorce. That's fine, but who's going to take care of her? And Inori is saying, dude, I get it, but it's time to look forward, not back. So Mr. Samura says, this is my daughter. She'll be coming with me for a while. They went to this sword training dojo. They tell Mr. Samura's daughter that he's a hero. He's a really good guy. And of course, Iori flips out. And he's like, oh yeah, if he's such a great guy, then how come he was never around? Which is, that's pretty fair. Speaking of April anime, will I watch Witch Watch? Absolutely, 100%. One of the top anime I'm looking forward to watching, for sure. It's a bad time for marketing games, especially Roosters releasing. I don't know what you mean by that. Of course, Iori's mother didn't like talk smack about him, but basically was complaining that Samura is a self-hating guy and he can't really get over himself, so to speak. And she's flipping out, saying, you abandoned mom. So they're doing a little bit of family bonding. He's taking her to see Inori. They're living together, cooking together. He's training her how to use knives and swords. She's imitating him, naturally, because he's her father. And she's like closing her eyes whenever she uses a knife or a sword. Yeah, in the recent chapter... Ooh, okay. That's good to see. I'm only like 15 chapters behind on Witch Watch, so I'll probably try and catch up on that today. The dub is taken forever for Blue Box, another common Blue Box L. Demon Slayer DLC. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not familiar with the Demon Slayer game. Did they fall short on DLC for the game? So anyway, Mr. Samura and Iori are having a cooking contest. And she's going to cook with her eyes closed. So now she's all embarrassed because her cooking is really good and Mr. Samura likes it. Oh no, they didn't have the contest. They're gonna have the contest. Whoever makes the tastiest food and cheers up the mother the most wins. So she makes her mother a box lunch, a bento lunch. It was supposed to be a contest, but we sort of ended up working together. So she's like, yeah, great, you feel better. Yeah. And then when you get out of the hospital, and then she died. That's rough. One of these days, I'll hear you say something positive about Blue Box. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Yeah, exactly, Mitchell. That'll be the day pigs fly. That'll be the day they make a Dr. Stone fighting game. I'll make everyone a deal. If they make a Dr. Stone fighting game, I will make a dedicated Blue Box video where I say it's a perfect 10 out of 10. And that's on record now. So you guys can hold me to that. So the mother died. So Samura and Iori are hanging out. He says, I'm sorry for everything. Hey, Iori, how about we call a truce? And they have a nice father-daughter moment where now he tries to be a good dad even though he feels like he doesn't deserve the chance. And then one of the bad guys shows up. Samura says, I don't know who you are, but do me a favor. Don't make me draw my blade. And that's when... So apparently he's been working with the bad guys, because Lord knows I can't remember their names, for 8 years, supposedly. But we'll have to wait and find out. So I would say this was the second best chapter of the week. I really like the way they're fleshing out Iori. I would say she's one of the more interesting characters in Kagurabachi. And this was a very welcome chapter for me, because I feel like it's been all action and like no like vulnerability, I guess. Does it have to be an officially licensed game? Yes, it's got to be Bondi or Capcom or Arxis or somebody. Do you know that there's a Dr. Stone mobile game? Yeah, there's a Dr. Stone mobile game, but can you play it in English? Like, can we play it over here? I thought it was Japan exclusive. Gonna clip that? Man, clip it. Go for it. Share it. Because I know neither of those things are gonna happen. There's a Hollywood flop by the Russo brothers. What was the movie? The Electric State? Were the Russo brothers, were they the ones that did, who are the brothers that did Game of Thrones? Oh, we can play the Dr. Stone game. All right. Well, so Ouji update, personal life. I found my my Game Boy Advance SP recently. So I've been playing Pokemon Fire Red recently. So I don't know. I don't really play a lot of mobile games, but I might try and play the Dr. Stone one because that one actually looks pretty cool. Yeah, D&D were Game of Thrones. They really fumbled that final season. But no, those aren't the Russo brothers. I doubt Capcom, since they never do Jump titles. I believe the last Jump series they did, as a matter of fact, was JoJo. Because if you go all the way back to, I think it would have been the 90s, they actually did a 2D fighter for JoJo. I believe it's just parts 1, 2, and 3, but I could be wrong. I forget the name of it, but if you look up Capcom JoJo fighting game, it's like a 2D game, and you can fight with your stands and everything. They just released Stanley and Zeno. Ooh, might be a perfect time to check it out then. Anyway, that is going to be it for me. New videos this week. There's going to be a Shangri-La Frontier video. There's a couple of other videos. Those will be up this week as well. Tomorrow will be a Dawn to Dawn stream, right? Unless I'm crazy. Let's make sure and check. Yeah, so Dawn to Dawn stream tomorrow. New videos this week. And then we'll also do a Dr. Stone / Marshall King stream Thursday. And that is pretty much it. Thank you for the stream. Thanks, Justin, GamerChan, Josh, Eddie, Edens, Mitchell, everybody that was here today. Thank you for the stream. Have a nice week. Well, thank you, GamerChan. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. If I don't see you in our other streams, I hope you have a great week as well. Thank you for another great discussion as always. Ichi wins best chapter of the week for me. Excuse me. But yeah, thank you for the discussion, and I will see you guys soon.